Hi. My heart sank when Matt said go on live and tell you about our Meta One learnings for day one. This is not something I'm comfortable with yet, but I'm going to keep doing it, and you'll just have to put up with me making mistakes and fluffing. So here goes. My best bits, my highlights from day one. Excuse me if I'm reading, there's just so much here. I don't want to do you wrong by missing bits. The first thing was we went through a summary of the pre-learning, and then we went through some principles that arose from them. Change is not passive. That was one big thing that hit me. I think I knew this, but it really came home. I cannot change my client. My client has to want to change themselves. They have to be able to do it for themselves. There's no magic wand, no magic pill. There's hard work. The other thing that in this section that I really took to heart was you can change the problem that you have. I come from a victim mentality background where I spent most of my previous life saying, I can't, this is who I am, I'll always be like this, it's everybody else's fault. And that's how it continued. What I took away from today is that we can change. And we change our problems by changing our thoughts and beliefs about the problem. Problems will come in life, that's a given. But how we respond to them and how we change our views and our beliefs and our attitudes and our thoughts about them is totally up to us. It's totally up to me. No more excuses, no more victim blaming everyone else. This is my responsibility to change. And this is what I want to encourage in my clients too. So limitations are real, but so are our responses to them, and that's our empowering change. We also talked a bit about masculine and feminine energy. This isn't a new concept for me because during my cognitive performance classes, we've looked at this. But it was very interesting seeing how it applies to our coaching. Towards the end of the day, Matt was telling us that NLP is different to metadynamics because often NLP in its pure state is very masculine, very problem solving, very almost aggressive in the way that it's portrayed. Not always, but it has this tendency. I'm actually an NLP practitioner and I've been starting to use some of these things outside TCI. But I can see what he's saying here. So we looked at how to make our approach more from a feminine energy point of view. And this is what we just finished with. And I loved this because we need to find a balance between being our masculine warrior problem-solving energy and our kind, understanding, compassionate, empathetic, nurturing energy. So we can change from being more masculine to being more feminine in our approach by the way that we listen to our clients and being present for them. Also the way that we watch the messages they're giving us through body language, through eye movement, sensual acuity. We can also try it on, which is where we don't just move from what our client has told us into the next question or into the solution, which is very masculine, as I said, excuse me. But we wait we let our client experience what they're going through, and we try it on ourselves. So we imagine how it's going to feel for our client. We empathize and we have compassion for them. But also, if we're suggesting something new for our clients, we can suggest to them that they try it on. They see what it might feel like and how it sits with them. We can also then validate and acknowledge our clients in a more feminine energy, giving them the message that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to feel emotional with us as coaches. We model that by being vulnerable ourselves to encourage their vulnerability. And then we summarize, which is where we reflect back, using the words of our client, what they have said to us. And this is twofold, as far as I can understand. It's to make your client feel that they are understood, that you've been listening, that you're there with them, that you accept them. And it also gives you as a coach confirmation of what's being said, making sure that you don't put your map or your understanding or your wishful thinking onto them. It's clarifying with curiosity what their message actually is. And I loved the exercises that we had to do. We had a coaching session, which was role play, but for me it ended up being a little bit of real as well. And I had to let go of my perfectionism, because when it was my turn to ask the questions, I went round and round and round and didn't seem to be progressing. But that's okay. We've been encouraged by Matt to let go of perfectionism and to try. So I'm very proud that even if I don't think I did very well, I tried. And that's the victory here. Also, we had to reword what we had learnt several times to each other. And coming from a teaching background, I love this because there is a saying, if you want to learn something, teach it. And that embeds it in our own memory and our own being. So I enjoyed this part too. I am absolutely exhausted because for me it was an all-night training. So after I finished here and done a little bit of extra posting for another project I'm doing, I'm going to bed, even though it's 8 o'clock in the morning here in Madrid right now. But I'm really excited for tomorrow. And if you get the chance to do this course in the future, I thoroughly recommend it. So you'll probably hear from me tomorrow on what we learnt tomorrow. So I'll leave it there for now, and thank you for listening, everybody.